Episode 9. The unfinished song. The morning air held a softness that hadn't been there before. You felt it as soon as you opened your eyes, the way the light slipped gently through the curtains and warmed your face. It wasn't the heavy, suffocating kind of morning you had grown used to. Instead, it carried something lighter, almost like a promise. You stretched slowly, listening to the quiet hum of the house. For once, the silence didn't feel like a punishment. It felt like a space you could breathe in. Your mother moved about the kitchen, the clink of dishes, faint but steady. She hadn't spoken much to you since the argument days ago, but she hadn't raised her voice either. That was something. Your brother's words still echoed in your mind. She doesn't know how to say it, but she's hurting too, same as you. It didn't fix everything, but it gave you a way to look at her differently. It's like maybe she wasn't just your mother, but also a grieving woman who had lost her daughter. By the time you walked to school, your steps didn't drag as much. The road was the same, lined with houses and fences you'd seen 1,000 times. But today, you noticed the sound of birds perched on wires, the laughter of kids running ahead, the smell of fresh bread drifting from a nearby shop. At class, Mandy was the first to spot you, her hand shooting up in an exaggerated wave. "Daniel?" she shouted, as though you'd been gone for months, and not just since yesterday. Sofia sighed and pulled her back down into her seat. "He's not deaf, Mandy. Sit down before you embarrass yourself." Mandy grinned. "Too late. I live to embarrass myself." You shook your head, fighting the smile creeping up. Their chatter always managed to pull you in, whether you wanted it or not. And today, you didn't resist. As you slid into your seat, Sofia leaned over. "You look different today. Happier?" You shrugged, pencil already tapping against the margin of your book. "Maybe I am." Before she could respond, Michael's laughter boomed from the doorway. He strolled in, hair sticking up as if he lost a fight with his pillow. "Guess who overslept?" he declared, raising his hands dramatically. "This guy. But it's fine, because I dreamt I was rich and didn't need school anyway." The whole row laughed, and Michael winked at you. "See, you needed that." At break, the two of you found your usual tree. Michael flopped down beside you, opening a packet of chips. "So," he said between bites, "when are you going to draw me as a superhero? I clearly am. Make sure I have the muscles, the cape, the abs. You know, the important details." You smirked. "I'll make you bald. Rude, but fair. My power will be blinding enemies with scalp shine." The two of you cracked up, laughter spilling until your stomach hurt. And in that laughter, you realized something. The darkness didn't have as much room today. Still, grief found ways to sneak back in. Later, when the teacher asked the class to sing a simple tune, voices rose and fell around you. It should have been easy, just another exercise, but you couldn't stop your mind from drifting. Your sister had loved to hum songs, even ones she didn't know the words to, sometimes off-key, sometimes sweet and clear. You remembered her little voice filling the house, and suddenly your throat tightened. The melody in class blurred. You stopped singing, staring at your desk, pencil clenched too tightly in your hand. The noise around you faded, and for a moment it was just her voice echoing in your head, unfinished, interrupted. Mandy nudged you gently. "Hey, you okay?" You nodded quickly, forcing your eyes up. She didn't push further. Instead, she smiled softly and picked up the tune louder, as if covering for you. That kindness stuck with you. It didn't erase the ache, but it softened it. When school ended, you walked home slower than usual. The street stretched before you, and you thought about the song again, about how it cut off too soon, about how much of life was like that, unfinished, interrupted. But as you reached your house, you noticed your brother waiting outside, leaning against the wall. He smiled, easy and warm. "Walk with me," he said. "Mom's cooking something, but it's gonna take a while. Let's give her space." The two of you walked quietly, side by side, no destination in mind. And for the first time in a long time, You felt like maybe you weren't running away from home. You were just walking, just breathing, just being. A tease. There was no perfect healing. The grief was still there, stitched into your days. But there were cracks in the weight now. Cracks that let the light through. And as the sun began to sink, painting the sky with colors too soft to name, you realized something. Maybe healing didn't come in one big moment. Maybe it came in pieces. In laughter under a tree. In a girl humming louder to cover for you. In a brother waiting outside, ready to walk. For the first time, you let that thought stay. Hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and join us again on our next chapter of Echoes of a Broken Man.